All right, diving into the world of Bitcoin. Well, not just Bitcoin itself, but the mystery of its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. You know Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, digital currency. Been making waves for what seems like forever.
Over a decade.
More than a decade, that's right. But who is the mastermind behind it all?
That is the question, isn't it? A
Oh.
visionary, some tech genius who just revolutionized how we think about finance. Or,
Like a grifter.
yeah, someone hiding in the shadows, maybe looking to cash in on all the anonymity.
A cunning grifter. That's what we're going to try to unpack today. The big question, grifter or gifted?
It's wild, right? It's not just about the tech. It's like a puzzle. We're trying to unravel a puzzle wrapped up in code
Right.
because Bitcoin, I mean, it really could change everything about finance, right?
He said.
Yet the person, or maybe people behind it, they just vanish into
Right.
thin air.
Into the digital ether.
Exactly, like they lit this financial firework and poof, gone before anyone could even see the sparks.
And here we are, it's 2024, Bitcoin is everywhere, and we still don't know. Is Satoshi Nakamoto one person? A group? Genius? Ghost? A phantom, even? So many investigations. Wild theories. But their identity? Still a total mystery.
A locked vault. Which brings us back to that question. Grifter or gifted?
It's the question, right? Was this anonymity? Was it strategic? A visionary move, like they wanted the tech to speak for itself? No figurehead, no leader.
Just the tech?
Or was it all calculated? A way to stay hidden, maybe pull strings in the background, manipulate the market, make a fortune? Who knows?
It's a question that hangs over everything Bitcoin, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so let's rewind. Back to 2008. Bitcoin is born. The world's in a financial crisis.
Yeah.
Total meltdown. People losing faith in the system left and right.
Remember Lehman Brothers?
Yeah. And then, boom, the white paper appears online like a whisper in a hurricane.
Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Revolutionary, absolutely groundbreaking, this whole system. Decentralized digital currency based on cryptography.
Yeah.
And the network. No central authority, no one in control. And you said it, this was right after Lehman collapse. Nobody trusted banks, at all.
Right. The timing was perfect. People were desperate for an alternative. And Satoshi, they swooped in with a radical solution. And Satoshi wasn't shy about distrusting institutions.
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, they literally wrote, "The root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work." They saw Bitcoin as an escape from that. No more relying on banks, no more governments controlling your money.
A total rebellion against the entire financial system.
A digital rebellion.
Yeah, exactly. They believed in transparency, security, privacy, all built on this crazy new tech.
The blockchain.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let's break this down, blockchain. Because I remember when I first heard about Bitcoin, I was so lost. It was like trying to learn a foreign language.
It's complex.
From another planet.
Yeah, it is. Think of it like a digital ledger.
Okay.
A record of every Bitcoin transaction ever made. Yeah. And it's not stored in one place. It's spread out across a whole network of computers. So no one entity controls it.
Okay, I'm starting to follow. That's what makes it so secure. You want to change something, you'd have to hack thousands of computers at the same time. Basically impossible. And that immutability, that was key for Satoshi. Transparency, yes, but tamper-proof. Nobody messes with the blockchain.
Got it. So no one can manipulate it. It's funny, even some of the early tech people, when they first saw Bitcoin, they were confused. I found this forum post from way back then, 2008. This user, /daughter, they were clearly struggling with the whole concept.
What did they say?
They said, "I'm trying to grasp this Bitcoin thing, but it's like trying to nail jelly to a tree."
That's perfect. Nailing jelly to a tree. That's exactly how it feels to learn about Bitcoin for the first time. But you see, that's what makes this whole thing so interesting. Was Satoshi, this anonymous genius, really trying to change the world? A true revolutionary? Or were they just a tech-savvy grifter? Someone who saw an opportunity? A system in its early days, ripe for the taking. It's a question that's going to keep us guessing. It really makes you think, doesn't it? This system where you don't have to trust anyone. No banks, no governments.
Right, trustless. But it also makes that question, grifter or gifted, even more important.
Exactly. Like, what if Satoshi wanted to play everyone? Wouldn't anonymity be the perfect way to do it?
You're right. I mean, are we saying Satoshi could have, put a backdoor into Bitcoin? Some secret way to manipulate the market? That seems, I don't know, far-fetched.
Not necessarily a backdoor in the code itself, but remember those early Bitcoin? The ones Satoshi mined, they've never moved. And they're worth a fortune. Think millions, maybe billions.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We're talking about 5% of all the Bitcoin in existence.
That's a lot of Bitcoin. A huge chunk.
Imagine if Satoshi just dumped all those coins in the market all at once.
Whoa. Wouldn't that crash the price?
Yeah.
Destroy the value of Bitcoin?
Exactly. So why would Satoshi want to do that to their own creation?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense unless they were shorting Bitcoin at the same time, making a profit from the crash.
There you go. Market manipulation on a massive scale.
Whoa! But if that was the plan, wouldn't Satoshi have stuck around? I mean, they disappeared in 2010, right when Bitcoin was starting to take off.
And maybe they knew their involvement would ruin the whole point, the decentralization.
Right, like if there's a leader, it's not really decentralized.
Exactly. Remember that quote, the one about the libertarian viewpoint? It makes you wonder if Satoshi had, like, ideological motives. They wanted to create this system truly free from control, even their own control.
So disappearing. It was a way to protect the idea, let Bitcoin grow on its own, guided by the community, not one person.
Exactly. But of course, it creates this huge mystery. Who is Satoshi? Or was? So many people have been put forward as potential candidates, some more convincing than others.
Right, like Craig Wright, the Australian guy. He keeps saying he's Satoshi, even went to court to try and prove it.
But the evidence... Well, let's just say it's not very convincing. The court actually said he wasn't Satoshi, even with all his claims.
Wow. What about Nick Savabo? He created something called BitGold, kind of a precursor to Bitcoin.
Yeah, and there was that HBO documentary, Money Electric. It explored the possibility that Peter Todd was involved. He's a big name in Bitcoin development.
So maybe possibility.
But both Sabo and Todd, they deny being Satoshi. It's funny, isn't it?
What's that?
Everyone wants to solve the puzzle, but nobody wants to be the missing piece.
It's true. Some people would do anything for the fame, the fortune that comes with being Satoshi. But others, people who might actually be connected, they want nothing to do with it. Makes you think, what does that say about Bitcoin? About the people behind it? I don't know. It's weird.
It's like the mystery is part of the appeal, part of what makes Bitcoin so fascinating, this mystique. It's like something otherworldly. It challenges everything we think we know about how the world works.
I get it. But there's a downside to all this obsession with unmasking Satoshi.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Think about Dorian Nakamoto, that guy who Newsweek wrongly identified back in 2014.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Poor guy.
It was crazy. The media just wouldn't leave him alone. And it caused so much stress for him and his family, all because of a mistake.
It just shows how dangerous this obsession can be. We're not talking about some harmless trivia here. With Satoshi, there's real money involved. Billions.
Right. Unmasking them. It's not just about satisfying curiosity. It could put their safety at risk,
Yeah.
their privacy, not to mention the legal battles, the constant scrutiny.
Exactly. It's like opening Pandora's box. We might get the answer, but at what cost?
Like Joel Valenzuela said, Satoshi Nakamoto was an incredible innovator, but his work speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, does it really matter who Satoshi is? Does knowing their name change anything? Bitcoin exists. It works. It started this global conversation about the future of money.
It's true. The technology is out there. It's evolving, changing the world. Regardless of who created it. Maybe Satoshi's anonymity? Yeah, that's the point. It's like the ultimate expression of their vision.
Maybe. It reinforces the idea that Bitcoin, it's bigger than any one person. It belongs to everyone.
It's like a gift to the world.
Maybe. Or the ultimate grift. We're left wondering, trying to figure it out. It's up to us to decide.
So, wow. Here we are.
The end of the road.
The end of our deep dive into Satoshi Nakamoto.
The enigma.
The myth, the legend.
We've covered a lot of ground. Where it all began. The brilliance of the blockchain, the mystery of Satoshi's identity, of course, and what it would even mean to unmask them.
And I think now it's time to turn it over to you, the listener.
Oh yeah, good point. Because beyond all the tech talk and the grifter versus gifted debate, there's a bigger question here.
What's this story, Satoshi Nakamoto? What does it all mean for you?
Personally.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in the details, the mystery.
Right.
But it's bigger than just Bitcoin.
It's about challenging the system, rethinking the things we just have, accept as how the world works.
It's about power. And who has it?
Individual empowerment. In a world that feels, more and more controlled every day. Satoshi looked at the financial system, the banks, the governments, and saw the flaws.
They saw a system that's
Opaque, vulnerable to corruption, serving the few, not the many.
And whether you agree with that or not, A lot of people feel that way.
And that's the power of this story. Satoshi didn't just create a technology, they started a movement.
Gave people a tool,
Mm-hmm.
a way to participate in a new system, one that operates outside the traditional power structures.
Which brings us back to that question, grifter or gifted? If Satoshi was a grifter, a master manipulator, then Bitcoin is a testament to just how powerful deception can be.
Wow.
But if they were truly gifted, a visionary, then Bitcoin represents something else entirely.
Hope.
Yeah. A beacon of hope for a different future, a decentralized future, a more equitable future.
It really is like what's that test with the ink blots?
The Rorschach test.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look at Bitcoin,
Mm.
at what Satoshi did, and you see what you want to see, what aligns with your worldview.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so compelling. It forces us to confront our own beliefs about power, about trust, about the role technology plays in our lives.
Big questions.
Are we okay with the systems we have? Or are we ready for something different, something radical, even if it's risky, uncertain?
It's a lot to think about.
It is. But that's the legacy of Satoshi Nakamoto. No matter who they were, no matter their motives, they gave us a glimpse of a different world. A world where the lines between technology, finance, and individual power are blurring.
And that world, it's still being built, full of potential, but also danger.
It's up to all of us to navigate it, to make choices, to shape the future we want to see.
Well said. So we leave you with the mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto. But keep exploring, keep questioning, keep the conversation going. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.